to deploy the Internet of Energy. That's a relatively new term, but today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I only have 5 slides, so you shouldn't hear any buzzing. So stay with me here. KWHCoin. Actually, just a little bit about what we are. We are a cryptocurrency that is backed by a deliverable kilowatt hour of electricity. Basically, what we do is we put any type of distributed energy resource that is renewable on our blockchain. We track their generation and their consumption, and the energy excess is converted to a digital wallet, which is converted to a KWHCoin, which makes us literally backed by a deliverable hour of kilowatt production that happens on our platform. So we are a global renewable energy company empowering the edges of the grid. I use that term, the edges of the grid, to refer to much smaller distributed energy resources, such as solar panels, electric vehicles, also windmills, hydroelectric power, just because with the Internet of Energy, this has the largest capability to be unlocked. Because currently we typically operate from a centralized grid system, and the distributed energy resources don't have access to be deployed onto the grid. And so this is part of our solution. Our mission is to improve the lives of the 1.2 billion people, actually it's about 1.6 billion people across the globe without reliable access to energy. So what we do at KWHCoin is 10% of all of our proceeds from our ICO and 10% of all of our revenue, we directly donate to building infrastructure in the 1.6 billion areas that don't have renewable energy access. Our mission right now is in Puerto Rico. We actually have 2 projects that, one, we've officially signed with the mayor of Orocovis. We're going to go in, this is actually going to be one of our smaller, more remote locations to kind of give proof as to our system being deployed. There are 300 communities. We're going to go in with solar panels, microgrids. We're partnering with non-governmental organizations, third-wave volunteers globally, and essentially we're going to connect them to their own grid. The way it stands now, it's probably going to be 15 to 18 months before they get power back just because of the infrastructure in Puerto Rico. So we want to use this as a platform to show how we are a viable, actionable solution for those that are in remote locations and for those that don't have primary grid access. I already talked a little bit about the Internet of Energy and that's deployed. Just to give perspective on that, traditionally we have had for the last 100 years a one-generational source of energy, typically from fossil fuels and a primary energy source. The Internet of Energy is going to be billions of devices, multiple distributed energy resources, now being able to use the Internet as a distribution vehicle. And so what we want to do is use our ability as a network platform to have excess generation. We're going to use the Internet to deliver that, or to deliver that value. There are going to be more nuances as far as the physical delivery, but we have partnerships with local resources. But as far as the value that's going to be interacted over the Internet, we want to build the ecosystem for that deployment. Cryptocurrency as a liberation technology. We are a social impact organization, and we believe that cryptocurrency has the ability to liberate billions by unlocking their value peer-to-peer and by connecting them and removing intermediaries, and that's one of our primary points of focus. And the last bit is empowering the edges of the grid. And that is, again, empowering the people that are on the outskirts, solar resources, people that have electric vehicles. We want to turn you into your own energy company and need only a phone and Internet access to transfer that value. And that's all I have. The future for us is, again, we want to be the ecosystem to deploy the Internet of Energy, and we want to get every distributed resource on our platform. We currently have 100 partnerships in over 32 countries, and our ecosystem is, we have set ourselves up to be the largest renewable energy blockchain in Puerto Rico by the end of the year. That is our goal. So that is KWHCoin. We're at KWHCoin.com, and I'm open to questions, feedback.
So I just want to confirm I understand how it works.
Yes, sir.
So let's say house A, they get a certain amount of electricity, and then they get the amount of tokens based on that, right? How does house B then buy that energy?
Okay, this is what we're building an application. We're about half built with it. The application is going to be called the grid. This is going to be the marketplace for them to collaborate these resources and exchange peer-to-peer transactions. We've already created the digital wallets. We've already built the architecture for the app, and we've already executed peer-to-peer transactions on our platform. So that's what's going to house all of the capabilities to interact with the computer.
So it would be continuous one-to-one.
Or scale to scale or project to project, but that's the most classic use case for one-to-one.
And then my last question on that is, let's say there's one guy who's making a lot and there's 5 people who don't have as much. Can you just constantly send that energy over, or do you have to store it at the end, or and then you send it out?
No, you have access. Once you have those KWHCoins in your wallet, it's just like, with the Bitcoin. It's your energy asset.
So then would you pay based on your usage, or do you pay up front for a certain amount of usage?
Well, our model, once we develop the application, our model now is you can come onto our energy blockchain for free. Once we develop the application, October, November, we're going to charge a base rate to come onto the application, and then services will be built based on generation and compensation as far as the fees. We're going to charge a base fee to have access to our network, but as far as generating fees, as far as our business model, it's going to be based on usage.
What's the team like?
Well, currently, actually, we have 4 members of our team here. We have a total number of 12 team members, but we are a multidisciplinary collaborative unit. So there's about 35 of us in all, including renewable energy experts, humanitarians, a lot of people involved in social impact, a lot of people involved in connecting off-grid technologies, microgrids. So in total, about 35 as far as the operational components of our ecosystem. All right, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you very much, Girard.